How you doing, man?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear
Good.
me?
Yeah.
What's going on, man? What can I help you out with?
I just had a couple questions.
Okay,
I just started a cold calling on Zillow. I already have
got
a
it.
code violation list for one of the counties near me, but like I
Uh-huh.
kind of want to get like my reps in before I go to the code violation. And then
Okay.
kind of similar to what somebody said earlier, like I'm just having problems with like the objections and stuff. Like I would like talk to them, try to build rapport, go through the MCTP and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and then when it gets to the offer, they'll just repeat the number it was listed for.
Yeah.
And like when I ask them, and then they'll be like, "Oh, I can't go, but like a number like very close to this," and it's like on something that's like 300 something days or something like that.
So, Robel, how long you been doing this for?
Like actually calling and stuff,
Yeah.
maybe like a week, 2 weeks.
Okay. So, have you
So
had a
I've been
chance
like
to go
learning
through?
for like months.
So, listen, you're in the right spot, and I'm not putting you on the spot. I'm here to help. So, like, don't worry. This is all
Okay.
for help. So, don't be nervous or anything. Have you gone through freewholesaling.com pretty much in the entirety?
Yeah.
So I've always said, and I'm just going to tell you up front, when you deal with on-market properties, which is pretty much what you're doing, right, through Zillow,
Yeah.
it's more of a challenge. I'm not even going to hide it from you. I don't hide it from anyone. Why? Because they're trying to get top dollar, and you have to understand that going into. So you have to disqualify. You have to spend a lot of time disqualifying people and just find the few that even want to have a discussion. If you try to get every person on a FISBO Zillow to agree to your terms, it's going to be brutal because you already know they want retail. So it's a fight up front. Now, it doesn't mean there's not deals there, but you have to have a massive amount of quantity to make it work.
I'm not
Period.
even like I'm not going there just to like try to get a deal from there. It's like I saw like Zach said like get like 100 offers up, and then I have like some people I talk to in like Facebook groups that get your reps in before you go waste like good leads with code violations and stuff.
So I love it because you get repetition. So when I talked to Stan earlier, which is in a different country, he probably put in close to 10,000. I mean, if he's doing 150 today, he did it 3 months, he's around 10,000. Now he has some other challenges because he's not familiar with the United States because Florida's a hard market. Which state are you doing? You don't have to tell me exactly which market.
Virginia,
Are you doing it local or virtually?
local.
So you're in the right market. I can tell you that. So it's,
So I'm not like near like Hampton and like that's like very far from me. So, like I know that's like where the good spot is.
so Rebel, how old are you?
17.
I mean, that's awesome. So you've got to understand the first part is you just got to get the repetitions in. I think you're over the fear of like, you're not worried about calling anyone. So when you talk about objections, the problem is, so code violations are their own set, but if you're talking about Zillow FISBOs, the objections on those,
Mhm.
correct?
Yeah.
They're going to be brutal. So the only thing you can do is kind of dance with them. But here's the key: if you gave me 1,000 like FISBOs on Zillow, I know for the most part 950 of them are going to waste my time. I know it up front. So you have to go into it and just kind of cut into it and just, I guess, play with it. But like, so if you know 9 out of 10 people are going to reject you, you have to disqualify first before you even get into MCTP. It's just a waste of time. Because here's what they want to do. So the house is listed for 200,000. Well, the best I can do is 195. It's like literally a waste of time. And here's the other problem is a lot of wholesalers anchor what they think the ARV is based on what the seller listed the property for. It's a big mistake. I'm telling you, you have no idea. They're almost worse than realtors in what they list this stuff for. So they'll list it for 229 and the property's only worth like 180 retail. And then the wholesaler goes, well, I got them at 190, 195. I'm like, it's not a deal. Like, what's the ARV? So taking a seller is just because they have it on the market. And honestly, if a property sat on the market for like 82 days, I promise you the ARV is well below that number that they have it listed for. So if I had to just do FISBOs, and I've done this before, it's painful. I don't like doing it, and it's hard. It's really easy up front because I got their phone number. I know the property's for sale. I have pictures, but they're just like this. They want to negotiate what, 5-6%. 5-6% just means they just got rid of the realtor. That's all. And that would be a dream for most people. So I would focus on, have you pulled the government list?
I have one of the code violations lists.
So, dude, go deep in that. You do better in pre-foreclosures, evictions, tax delinquencies, and probates. Because I'm okay with you practicing on like Zillow's, FISBOs, But honestly, you're going to have to rip through. I don't mean to scare you or anybody else on this, but you're going to have to go through 5 or 10,000 a month just to find a motivated seller, because the predominant part of them are retail sellers, and they're trying to skip the realtor. So their mindset, honestly, you might even be better going through MLS. And you know how much I hate MLS. I love off-market properties. Is it hard up front? Yeah, it's brutal. I got to get the list. I got to go somewhere to get it. I got to skip trace it, and I call. But I tell you what, guys, when I get a motivated seller, it more than makes up for the pain I have to go through. If you take on-market properties, it seems really easy up front, and that's why most people buy a course. But the back end's a nightmare. They're very hard to dispo, and most of the time they don't cut you a deal at all because there's little to no motivation. So you're 17. I didn't start till I was 33. You have a 16-year head start. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So you are in what we call the journey of wholesaling. Try to find the niche you think you're going to be best at. Have you tried driving for dollars?
So I was gonna go do the reverse driving for dollars with the code violations, and then do the driving dollars while I'm doing it.
So by the way, honestly, it's, in my opinion, it's I think it's kind of easy to get a deal that way, because once you see the house, you know the motivation's there. You just got to get them to tell you about it. And by the way, some people live in like terrible homes and they're okay with it. And unfortunately, we can't fix everybody. But this is my frustration with wholesaling. I love what you're doing. Like, you got guts. And let me ask you, how did you find wholesaling?
YouTube.
So, and what's your reason for wholesaling? What's your ultimate plan with it?
I don't really like school like that, so
yeah,
it's
you're just like
it's
me.
Much more interesting to me.
So you get it. So you're 17. So you're in the basic stages. You're right now learning wholesaling, and you got to find your navigation and your compass. A lot of people will teach you, just go on, do FSBOs and Zillows, and you can do it. But you've got to be a mass caller, like 5,000-10,000 volume, because most people you have to find someone when they just give up, and it's a pure timing thing, and it's hard, and it's just the truth of it. I would right now driving for dollars and reverse driving for dollars, and don't overlook the old school tactic of bandit signs. My son was 16 when he started bandit signs. He did his first 3 deals off bandit signs right off the bat. I was in shock. I was in shock. I didn't think they worked. I gave up onto it because I thought I knew everything about wholesaling. And there's nothing better than a young man like you to say, hey, listen, people still look at this crap and they're really cheap. Don't go get them professionally printed. Do exactly what I tell you. Go buy like 10 or 20 signs. Go get a big black Sharpie marker and use the 3 lines. Put a virtual phone number on there. Sell your house today, any condition, anytime, any place, something like that. Just don't do we buy houses, and it works. So I'm telling you, I would just go to a direct market, straight to the seller, as opposed to the on-market properties, because you're not the only person with this frustration. And I'm not saying it doesn't work, but it does take a lot of volume. And so I'm okay with you practicing on it, but like, I think you're past the practice thing. You're not scared, you know the objections. And really, I do an entire video where I break down the 5 most common objections every seller is going to give you. And once you understand how to classify them, they don't scare you anymore. The real art in overcoming objections is how you deliver the return to it.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
it.
forgetting what this. Like, I know, like, I seen the video of like, it's like
But
they're talking like very like straightforward.
Yeah.
With this thing, but I forget like in the moment what I'm supposed to do.
But Robel, you didn't have a sales class in school, did you? No, because your U.S. government doesn't think it's important, and that's what you got to understand. So knowing that, you got to go out and kind of learn it on your own. Now, here's the really cool part about wholesaling. This isn't like you're not selling used cars. You're not selling any of that crap. All you are is finding someone that's motivated and then showing them that you confidently can deliver. Because, by the way, your voice sounds good. You sound very confident. You're never going to have an issue on the phone. And then I always tell people, because Zach's biggest thing is like, well, what do I do if like I look really young? I'm like, dude, I'd kill to be your age. Like, use it as an asset. Don't use it as a liability. And that's the difference. We don't sell in wholesaling. We qualify people and we just walk them down a funnel, and we help sellers get out of their own way, period. Do you know how many like cats I've rescued? You know, I had one lady, I rescued 46 cats. Do you think I have a passion for cats? I got 1 cat in my house. I can't stand it. Don't tell my daughter. But I'm not a cat person. Like, they scratch, they shed, they're not nice to you sometimes. But the lady says, if you can help me relocate my 46 cats. It took me 3 months to do it. I learned more about cats than I ever want to know about it. Why? Because I took the human element of wholesaling and I helped her out. And that's what I want you to understand. That's what you're going to do. So I love what you're doing. I want you also to work on putting an inflection in your voice and being a little bit more dramatic, because when Zach started out just like you, he was very militant. Like, this is the way I'm going to call you. This is how I'm going to do it. So number one, you got to smile and create inflection in your voice, because they know you're human then. And I got to tell you guys, with AI and stuff coming down, it's going to be crazy in the next few years. It's more imperative to get a grip on wholesaling now than it ever been, because this AI thing, I have to pay attention to it, because a lot of times you're not even know if you're talking to a real person anymore, and people are going to have to start overcoming that objection. And I got to figure that one out too. So the driving for dollars and reverse driving for dollars is probably going to be your best bet, period. So if you want to keep doing that, it's fine, but I'm giving you a more direct path, and I don't think it'll drive you as crazy. And you just got to keep observing and learning. Go back to the video where I teach you about the 5 objections. There's only 5 people can give you. That's it. It's simple. And once you, oh, okay, he's talking about price. Here's how I'm going to overcome it. Oh, he's talking about time. Here's how I'm going to overcome it. Oh, he's talking about my credibility and confidence. Here's how once you know you can only reach the 5 places, knock it out of the park. Because you're worried when you get the objections, you're like, okay, how do I know the answer to this back? After a while, you can either go through 10,000 sellers, which you'll know how to answer every question, or you can memorize the objections and just constantly have someone fire off on you. So do you get any family support with this? Your family, they think you're crazy?
At first, but my dad's letting me do it now.
Yeah, so listen, you are making your own future. So do not rely on anybody else, because it's you and you only at the end of the day, and you make the decision. Like, dude, I was a terrible student, dude. You have no idea. Like, I had to beg for community college to take me in. I was so bad. Why? Because I just operated differently. I thought differently. But honestly, it's a good thing, man. You're young. You can figure it out. You don't have to wait till you get a mortgage. You go through the whole thing, and then you have to work nights and weekends to get it done. There's a lot of people that have to do. I had to do that because I screwed up. I love what you're doing. I love the age that you're doing in it. And just be wildly curious and go and understand, if somebody pitches you, go, hey, here's how you wholesale while you sit on your laptop computer on the beach and you don't have to do anything. It's BS. And please don't buy into AI will do everything for you. AI will help you, but it's never going to close people for you. There's no way that's happening in the next 10 years. It will help you lead management.
Code violation.
Yes.
So when I was looking at them, it was in a PDF, and it was I had different types. And then do I still call the ones that are structural damage? I don't know what zoning means. I don't know what that means.
So zoning means a lot of times people are running a business out of a residential house, and the neighbors are complaining about it. I always look for structural, landscaping, and if people have boarded up windows or blue tarps. Past that, you're wasting your time. The guy who stores the 4 motorhomes on the side of the home, he's never selling.
Yeah.
Where's he going to put his motorhome?
The ones with the vehicle.
Yeah. So what they'll do is they'll have code classifications on them, and we only do 3, and it depends on which county you do.
Out of the 200, I think vegetation is for grass, right?
Yep. And that's so.
And it's 3 of them are grass. So
wow.
And then there's graffiti and stuff, but it's not most of them are zoning or parked cars, something like that.
Yeah. So part of it, Rebella, is trial and error. And so once you start to do deals, you're like, okay, where did that one come from? That's how I found probates. Guys, it took me 10 years to find probates. Why? Because I just went back and looked at the data. I go, man, what's my most profitable deals? My accountant goes, whatever you did on this one, do it again. I go, well, it's a probate. How'd you find that? I go, I don't know. I actually got it off driving for dollars. And then we decided to target probate. So you'll work yourself out with code violations. Just a lot of times I just ask the code violation office, whatever you want to call it, and go, hey, this classification, what does that mean? Is it tall weeds, or is it just weeds in the grass type of deal? Because sometimes we have posh neighborhoods, they report people for a 2-inch piece of dead grass. You're wasting your time on that stuff. So one of my favorite one is knocked over mail receptacles. So in our county, if your mail receptacle's knocked over more than 90 days, you get a violation. Now, most people want their mail, and they'll put a mailbox. You can even stick one in the ground for $25. So when they can't put up the mailbox, I know there's an issue. It means they're not getting their mail. They're ignoring their mail. They're probably behind on everything else, and they got bigger issues than that. And I love to get those, but we don't get a lot of those. Favorite. So you got to rebel. Just keep doing what you're doing. I would just redirect for driving for dollars and then reverse driving for dollars. I think you're going to have much greater success at it.
All right. I just want a plan to go because I'm on break right now. On spring break, so I'm ready.
Get the government list, and find the list that. So the only ones you don't do reverse driving for dollars are probates because the person's deceased and it's not a good look. You understand what I'm saying? Outside of probates, they're all wide open. All the government lists,
All right.
code violations, evictions, everything. Just go for it.
Okay.
Okay, man. Update me. You got it.
All
Hey,
right.
Rebel, do me a favor.
Yeah.
Smile. There you go.